So I've got to mention, you've had this incredible 14 months. You've experienced every possible emotion, from fear, basically, to jubilation. Yeah, you'd always been fit and healthy, and then just before you go on tour last May, you spot this lump on your neck, and you've got no other symptoms at all. Now, thankfully, you do something which is completely sensible, which is what a lot of other people would have just brushed aside. You actually got it checked out, and this is probably the best decision you've made ever, really.
Well, it was very, it was worrisome to an extent, but that, I did what I read about it, and it said give it a couple weeks, because you have, so basically it's right here, and I still have, it's where the scar is, where they took out the lymph nodes, but basically I was shaving, and I found this lump, and it didn't, like you said, there was no side effects, it didn't hurt anything, and I read about it, and it said, look, don't stress, because a lot of times you get a viral infection of some kind, and give it a couple weeks. If it doesn't go away, then you should go see your doctor. And I just thought, okay, I'll give it a couple weeks. And we had some shows, so I was busy. So I got done with that, and then it takes a minute to, when you make a doctor's appointment, to actually get the appointment. It's not like you can, unless there's an emergency, you got to go to the emergency room if you want it immediately. So it took me another couple weeks, and it was roughly a year ago, right around this time, when I got the word that it was cancer. And it was, it started with going to the doctor and him going, well, let's do some scans, and then they called for more scans and x-rays and this and that. And then eventually he recommended I go to an ear, nose, and throat doctor, and I had a biopsy scheduled, because it definitely, they were really concerned about whatever it was. And then the ear, nose, and throat doctor goes, don't worry about getting a biopsy. I see it. It's on your tonsil. So let me just take a piece. He took some pliers and pulled it right off my tonsil and sent it in. And of course it came back positive for HPV 16 square cell cancer, and it's a sexually transmitted cancer that a lot of people may get, but it just lays dormant. So you can have it for a long time, and it just
disappears.
It just never rears its head. It never turns into. And women get screened for it when they go get down. Their gynecologist will screen for HPV. It's something that's common, where women can have cancer, ovarian cancer. So,
how difficult was it to stay positive? I mean, I did see a great quote from an unknown source who said, "You don't know how strong you are until being strong is the only option you've got."
Yeah, I think that is that's a good quote. It's interesting. I think for me, I probably tapped into some of that because I've got kids. So
sure.
The last thing of course I was nervous when I heard I had cancer, and it wasn't defined. They can't give you all the information that you want when they tell you you've got something. So your mind starts to go crazy a little bit, and no matter what anybody tells you, in the back of your mind that it could be, your time could be very limited, so you just gotta, unfortunately, you gotta wait. And when you've got, fortunately for me, I had a really great distraction, because when I found out about it, it was, like I said, a year ago. I was actually in bed with my wife, and my two kids were in the next bed over. We were in Texas at the Junior Olympics. My daughter was running in the Junior Olympics.
Oh, right.
And so I normally I would never answer the phone in that situation. We're trying to get lights out. We're trying to get the kids to chill out because she's got a race next day, and they're doing they're making funny jokes and all this stuff. And we're like, calm down, and we're finally, everyone's calmed down, and my phone rings, and it's the doctor. And so I was just like, oh man, I better answer it. So he said, okay, it's positive. You've got cancer. Don't worry, we're going to take care of this and set you up. You got to start looking at finding the right physician that you want to work, the right surgeon that you want to work with, or whatever. So I had a distraction. I had my kids there. I didn't want them to be worried. So I just put on a strong face, and I told my wife about it. But until I got the doctor's appointment, it was pretty scary, not knowing what it was going to be. Once I met with the doctor, I met with a couple of different doctors, and finally I went with Cedars-Sinai in Los Angeles, and the doctors were amazing. But once I met with these doctors, they said, listen, this is a common thing. It's very treatable. You're going to be, it's roughly the staging of my cancer would be like 2 or 3, stage 2 or stage 3. But with this particular cancer, it's very slow. So it had been going for a while, I guess, and just finally had popped into the lymph nodes. So that's what I was seeing. It was on my tonsil, and my lymph nodes were now, it's called metastasized. So they were hot, those ones. So they said, okay, this is the plan. You're going to have to get surgery, and there's going to be surgery on the inside and surgery on the outside. And the one doctor I met with in UCLA said, I can do the outside one, but the inside one is robotic surgery, and I'm not. He goes, I'm going to have my colleague do it because I don't do that. And then when I met this amazing doctor at Cedars-Sinai, he was a younger guy and super confident. Actually, I got a meeting with him from a family member, and because he wasn't taking patients. So when I got the meeting and he agreed to take me on, I was like, that's the guy. And he did. There was a possibility that there would be there's a nerve that makes it so you can raise your arm and stuff. And I was concerned about that, among other things, with the surgery. And he basically came in right after the surgery and goes, I saved the nerve, so don't worry. And I was like, yes. So that was the start of positive stuff, like I got the surgery.
How did you feel when it became public? How did it help your morale to see so many bands, so many musicians, so many fans from all over the world sending messages on Instagram or Facebook and just, sending out all this positive energy? Did it help?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's a true blessing that, you don't really, you don't know what people are going to think or say. And a lot of times that kind of stuff it's people want to keep it private. It was just unfortunate, that there was a tour coming up, and once I realized that I was not going to be able to do the tour, I just felt like I don't want to make up some excuse in case, in case it doesn't get better or whatever. I just wanted to be honest about it. But the outpouring of support and prayers and good well wishes was amazing. And I got to say, I have a really great group of people in my circle that always support me no matter what, but then some other people mentioned it, like, for example, Paul Stanley sent me good well wishes, and a lot of people found out about it from Paul. So it was like, everybody heard about it. And it really helps, I mean, I definitely my faith got a lot stronger during the whole thing, and I learned a lot of really important lessons for me that work. And but I really, the greatest thing that happened was people sending prayers and well wishes, because it made a huge, it definitely made a huge impact for me.
Has it actually changed? I mean, you are at the moment, you're all clear. How has it affected how you see life on a daily basis? I mean, you get up, you get out of bed, as you pull the curtains back, and it's just like, my God, it's great to be alive. I mean, do you view life in a different way?
Yeah, I do. It's I definitely will make my priorities are my family. So that's the first thing. I don't want to miss any time with when you for anyone that's got kids or children, they grow so fast and then they're gone.
Yeah.
Like and so I decided, okay, while they're here under my roof, I'm going to spend as much time as I can with them when I have the opportunity. Like you know, I've got hobbies and things. As an example, somebody called me this morning and said, "Hey, we're going to take a motorcycle ride up to Yosemite, and a beautiful area and a beautiful ride, a couple camping," and there's just no interest in leaving my family. I know that there's going to be some practicing, soccer practice or track. There's a soccer scrimmage on Saturday. I was like, I just don't want to miss any. I don't want to miss any of it. But the outlook on life definitely is, for me, is faith in my higher power, letting go, and just knowing that whatever's going to happen is meant to be that way, and enjoy every moment while you got it, because literally something could happen, God forbid, but something could happen, and you don't wake up, you stop breathing, and then it's over. So I'm definitely trying to enjoy every moment I can, as much as I can, while I got it.